Hey, beautiful souls. Welcome back to Pathway to Pleasure, where we explore the fascinating realm of pleasure and its profound impact on our health and well-being. So today, I'm actually have a change of scenery in the back. I am so very happy and blessed that I was able to move my office into my home, and it feels, just so comforting and nurturing to be in this space and to offer my profound healing abilities to the clients that come in. So I wanted to take the time today for today's video to delve into the transformative power, I should say, of pleasure and connecting ancient wisdom with modern science. So I'm going to touch upon, the people who are in their brains and also the people who feel into their bodies more. And so combining the ancient wisdom here with the science to cultivate this truly fulfilling life that it is your birthright to live. And in this video, we're also going to be exploring the concepts of neuroplasticity, psychosexuality, somatic awareness, and the importance of interoception, which I'll explain just very briefly. So I'm going to dive in right now. So a little bit about neuroplasticity and pleasure pathways. There have been recent advancements in neuroscience that have revealed the incredible capacity of our brains to adapt, to change, and heal throughout our lives. Now, this phenomenon is known as neuroplasticity. With intentional and repetitive practice, we can create new neural patterns and behaviors, including pleasure pathways. So enter now my coaching techniques that focus on the psychosomatic system that are designed specifically to help build new pleasure pathways that lead to enhanced well-being and vitality. If you worked with me before, you understand what I'm saying, that the techniques I use that pull from Taoist and tantric philosophies and somatic release embodiment can really work with that neuroplasticity of the brain to rewire your pleasure pathways. And I just wanted to touch a little bit. I saw a post recently on Facebook, and this person was just really getting tired of hearing the words like embodiment. And there was another word. She was like, it's just so very vague. And I like that it is vague because everybody has their own experience and version of what embodiment means to them. I mean, the term embodiment means to embody something, right? It's like, it's a felt sense of knowing that we've learned this, we've put it into our bodies, it's become part of us. And it is vague because there is no right or wrong way to do it. An individual needs to understand their own way to get there. And it is different for every single person on this planet. So I'm glad that embodiment is a vague term because it's what you want to make of it for yourself. So that's a side note. Getting back to what I wanted to talk about today. So I talked about neuroplasticity. Now I'm going to talk about a little bit about psychosexuality and our true desires. So our thoughts and our emotions play a profound role in shaping our experiences of sexuality and pleasure, right? We just, our past experiences, how we are showing up at the moment, what we are feeling, they shape how we are experiencing our deep sexuality and pleasure in the moment. So by reframing our perception of ourselves and developing a deeper understanding of our true desires, we can align our sensual and sexual experiences with our authentic self. And this involves cultivating interoceptive awareness. What is interoceptive? That means learning to feel and connect with your internal sensations, emotions, and desires. One of the things that I have an itch on my leg that I can't. Okay. One of the things that my clients learn with me right off the bat is the understanding of felt sense. It's connecting to our body and feeling and understanding what these feelings are telling us. And we don't also always need to know the real meaning behind it, but there is that learning of, this is a part of me, it's some energy that needs to be expressed. And how am I going to do that for myself? And that brings us back, brings me to what I was talking about a little while ago when I went on that tangent, is somatic awareness and embodiment, right? So to truly access and deepen our experiences of pleasure, we must learn absolutely to drop into our bodies and cultivate somatic awareness. The somatic practices, they enable us to move beyond habitual thinking patterns, right? To get out of our head and to start connecting with the present moment. What is going on with me presently, right here, right now? Not, 5 minutes ago, not 10 minutes ahead in the future. What am I doing right now? What am I feeling right now? What is going on in the present moment for me? And these practices are what train our interoceptive awareness. Because we can't look internally and inside if we're not being present. And when we train this interoceptive awareness, it allows us to feel and understand our body's signal from the inside. And that is what's so truly important, because the external world, it bombards us so much, but that's not where our healing is going to be. That is not where we're going to, get the clarity for our next move in our business and next, where we want to go in our relationships. It comes from inside. And these somatic methods, they are so beneficial for especially trauma healing. And it doesn't have to be, that people say trauma with a big T. Like trauma's trauma. It's how we perceive it. Sometimes it's huge and it affects us so very deeply. And other times it's maybe just like this little pebble in the road that we just need to move over. So trauma's trauma. And somatic methods help be able to release that energy of the trauma so it gets to be completed and digested. And it offers this, a holistic approach to our well-being. We're not talking about taking meds to cover up or to, not be able to feel. Like we need to feel to heal. That is so very true. And lastly, I want to talk about ancient wisdom and energetic lovemaking, aka sacred sexuality. Right? So throughout history, so many cultures have recognized the powerful connection between sexual pleasure and overall health and vitality. It is true. You can go ahead, do your research on this. I was actually talking with somebody who lived in Europe for many years, and she came over to the United States and was just really surprised. She thought over here in America, we're very open and, free and, sexually. And she really found that we're really quite oppressed here. So I found that very interesting. So these diverse cultures, they recognize the powerful connection of sexual pleasure and vitality, right? So modern science continues to validate this effectiveness on many ancient practices. So many research have been done in higher institutions about sacred sexuality, the benefits of it, the effects of it, diving more deep into tantric principles and philosophies. However, it's important to remember that, the age-old ways of energetic lovemaking cannot be replaced by scientific research alone, right? So we can, the scientific research can quote unquote give validity to for some people. They believe in the actual science of things, so therefore they might be more open to trying sacred sexuality if science says it's okay and it's beneficial. But we have to be careful, right? We just don't rely on that. We want to integrate. We want to integrate this ancient wisdom with modern knowledge. And we can unlock that full potential of our bodies and experience profound transformation through this. And I have personally felt the profound transformation of unlocking the full potential of my body into sacred sexuality and feeling that connection to the divine, to the divinity within myself and also with the person that I was with. So, like I said, there have been so many different studies done at the levels of higher education that have focused on the benefits and effects of the sacred sexuality, and that these results included stronger and more significant improvements in trauma resolution, that the sacred sexuality can improve the releasing, trauma resolution, happiness, definitely intimacy, and like I said, these mystical experiences that could be related. If you've had any psychedelic experiences, you will be like, oh, this is very similar, and it definitely takes you beyond the realms of talk therapy. Like through talk therapy, you won't get to these higher mystical experiences of sacred sexuality. It is something that needs to be felt, and here's the word, embodied. So that means that, and I feel that means that sacred sexuality, used under the right circumstances. And that's the thing about sexual wellness and health, that sex needs to be experienced under the right circumstances, not the egocentric, I gotta have this, I'm gonna take this energy from somebody, this, you owe me sex because we're married, or like, no, there's right circumstances for sacred sexuality, and under these circumstances it is a powerful tool than most healing interventions that we have currently as a society. Like I said, talk therapy, biofeedback and stuff. It's just, there's profound healing in sacred sexuality when it is done in a sacred way. And that's truly how powerful it is. And hence the word sacred. There is that energy that needs to be present, the intention that needs to be present, and in this experience for that healing to happen. So a lot of things, sometimes when I tell people what I do, sex and intimacy, seem like, I'll get to that when I have time, right? So, at first glance, people feel that engaging in sacred sexuality is frivolous or it's self-indulgent. But I want to assure you, absolutely, that it is one of the most potent paths to self-healing. It's through the practice of sacred sexuality that we activate. It's a big word, activate our inner sovereignty, and we awaken into spiritual remembrance. That time when I first experienced a sacred sexual encounter, I met God. And it's this healing that just comes through your body, and it begins to unlock, at least for me, like very dormant like psychic abilities in a way. It was pretty profound. So it's a journey. It's a journey that holds this tremendous potential for profound transformation in all levels of our being. So I want to conclude this in bringing us back to, how taking ancient wisdom and using the transformative power of pleasure to cultivate, our fulfilling life, right? So I think one of the barriers into having a fulfilling life for most people is stress, right? So, in this world of where there's so much stress coming from every single angle, and I hear all the time, I'm so busy, life is so chaotic, I'm just overwhelmed. It's important that we prioritize our mental health, which also corresponds to our sexual health. And when we can reduce that stress in our life, when we can go inward and feel peace, we open up more and more to our pleasure, to our sexuality, and we have that more of a, let's say, life force and desire to go deeper into the sacredness of sexuality. And we do this by connecting with our bodies, by focusing our attention on our sensations and our pleasure. And we can start to transcend all that mental chatter and that noise and really start to experience the richness of our life, of ourselves. So an invitation to you is to join me. Join me as we dive into the wonders of sacred sexuality together, where the healing of our mind and our bodies and our soul awaits. Pleasure is not a luxury. It is an essential part of our holistic well-being. So my prayer for you is that your journey be filled with love, be filled with liberation, be unbridled, and have profound self-discovery. Oh, thank you so much for joining me today on this exploration into pleasure, into understanding that we can change our brain into having more pleasure into our life, into welcoming sacred sexuality, deep inner introspective interoception. So if you resonated with the wisdom that I shared here today, please like, share, and subscribe. And remember that sacred sexuality is a powerful gateway to your self-transformation. And by embracing it, we unlock the boundless potential within. So until we meet again, may your path be filled with love, with grace, and ecstatic, bliss. Much love.